Scene at the Fair, brought to you by McDonald's. Dr. Fred Leach of Hamlin University is one of the judges of the Fine Arts exhibition at the Minnesota State Fair this year. Dr. Leach, it's a large exhibition. How many pieces?
Yes, it is. There were 1,700 submitted, and when the judges got through, we wound up with 404.
So even at this point, it's still a large one.
It's still a large exhibition, but we've got about 25% of what was originally submitted.
How many media represented?
Well, if we go the full range, we're talking about oil, acrylic, watercolor, intaglio, lithography, silkscreen.
So those are some quilting.
Yes.
Some of the unusual ones.
Yes, it's a state fair exhibition, and I think that anyone coming to the exhibition would be able to see many other elements of the fair here in the Fine Arts section.
It's on the third floor of the Grandstand, the Fine Arts exhibition at the Minnesota State Fair, Minnesota Showcase. Scene at the Fair, brought to you by WCCO Television. In one corner of Heritage Square stands the Pioneer Farm. Now, there is an air of authenticity about it, and that's for good reason, because these log buildings at one time did stand on a farm in northern Minnesota just before the turn of the century. Actually, a real family lives in these buildings during the Minnesota State Fair, and they spend their days going about the kind of chores that they would have done on a farm just before the turn of the century. Chores, for instance, like grinding corn. The Pioneer Farm at Heritage Square, another splendid exhibit at the Minnesota State Fair. Scene at the Fair, brought to you by WCCO Television. To look at his tools, you'd think Burnett Platon was a house painter, but not so at all. Those are house painter's tools, Burnett, but you use them for a different purpose, right?
I use them because it creates speed, and that's what we are. My partner and I, Norman Zinkin, have painted 5,000 pictures this year.
This year, the world's fastest picture painter. You've painted all over the world, too, I understand, all over the country, huh?
Yes, I have my paintings in 28 countries.
Okay, he has a tree to finish there, and he does it very, very quickly, as you can see.
This is another house painter's brush.
Okay. I understand sometimes you use house painter's brushes that are no longer any good for house painting, too, huh?
Well, I find the house painters that throw their brushes away, and then I go in a garbage can and pick them up.
Okay. Burnett Platon, just another gentleman featured at the Minnesota State Fair, Minnesota Showcase.
That's it, huh?
Scene at the Fair, brought to you by WCCO Television. For that 10-second ride, thousands of folks make this minute to minute-and-a-half climb each year at the Minnesota State Fair at the Giant Slide. And they come in all shapes and sizes and ages. Matter of fact, a grandmother just passed me by, said, "My nephew told me that grandmothers are guaranteed not to be hurt on the Giant Slide." Well, I don't know. They're young folks, old folks, little folks, big folks, coming in pairs, sometimes in threes, at the Giant Slide. It's the Giant Slide, and it's located right across from Channel 4 at the greater-than-ever Minnesota State Fair.